Because you know what? I know someone who is 100% healthy and would love to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure Vince would love it too. Let's point at the sign.
Oh, no.
Stop. Becky, you were suspended. You were not supposed to be here. You know that. I know that. Go home.
That's right, she's suspended. Yeah.
See the doctor. You want the suspension gone? See the... Charlotte, this does not concern you. Get out of here.
Yeah, bitch. Go away, honey. Go away. Acting like a spoiled little child. Doesn't fly here with Papa H.
You want the suspension lifted? See the doctor. Get medically cleared. Go to WrestleMania. Face Ronda Rousey. That's all you gotta do. Until then, go home.
Pretty simple. That's what Stephanie said last night.
How's Steph?
You know, it's funny, I didn't see it until now. Now it's clear. I've seen this a million times. I didn't know. I'm not sure why I didn't see it. I bought into this whole I'm the man crap just like they did.
God damn.
But the truth is, Becky, you're not the man at all, are you? That's a lie. You're just a self-destructor, afraid of failure, aren't you? That's all this is. You can stand there with that smug look on your face, but I can see the look in your eye. You know I'm right. You are just looking to be a martyr. You are looking for a way out of this whole thing. That is why when you scratched and clawed your way to the top pinnacle of your career and you got that Survivor Series match with Ronda Rousey, you recklessly came to Raw the next night looking for a way out. And you got that way out, didn't you? Is your knee even hurt? Or is this just an act to find a way out? You're scared. You won't go to the doctor because you're scared of what he'll say. Now you'll say that you're scared. He'll tell you you can't go to WrestleMania and face Ronda Rousey. But the truth is, you're scared. You're scared he'll tell you you can go to WrestleMania and you can face Ronda Rousey. You're scared, Becky, because if you do, you're afraid that at WrestleMania, Ronda Rousey will expose you as the fraud that you are.
Exactly what I talked about on last night's review.
You are afraid that on the biggest stage of them all, with the whole world watching, you will prove to everyone that Becky Lynch fears Ronda Rousey. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, no, are you kidding me? Two nights in a row, Becky Lynch has assaulted a member of the McMahon family. I don't know if that was brazen or downright insane. What is Becky Lynch doing?
Again, just like I mentioned on Monday Night Raw review last night, this is all setting up Becky Lynch for the sympathetic storyline. And I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this whatsoever. It's the simple fact that we're all concerned that Becky is out right now in WWE storyline, and they're going to add Charlotte Flair to this main event. Now, I understand why people are thinking that because of the Ric Flair birthday bash that they're having on Monday Night Raw in 3 weeks when Raw rolls through Atlanta. And that would be an easy way for WWE to bring Charlotte there to Monday Night Raw to celebrate with her father. Charlotte's on Raw. Coincidentally, Ronda Rousey is the Raw Women's Champion. This is a perfect way to get Charlotte integrated into this match. But this is exactly what I stated it was going to be on Monday Night Raw Review. This is WWE pretty much telling you that they believe in Becky, but what they're telling you on television is that the machine, WWE, does not believe in Becky. Triple H pretty much told you that he believed in Becky when he first came out, and then all of a sudden, he went into a long-winded rant about why he didn't think that Becky was right for the job. That maybe she was just lying to everybody, being cowardly, that she didn't want Ronda Rousey, that she's afraid of failure at WrestleMania, that it all started at the Survivor Series, that you went to Monday Night Raw and recklessly invaded Raw, and you were looking for a way out. This is all building sympathy, folks. Now, it's exactly what I stated it would be on Monday Night Raw. This is WWE, at least for this week, taking Becky out of the equation and not featuring her on television and getting you, the fan, just programmed to think that, well, Becky's not going to be on television until she gets this doctor's note or she gets clearance from a doctor that she can wrestle at WrestleMania. This is WWE building sympathy up for Becky Lynch. She doesn't need it. It's not needed at all, but it's definitely going to make Becky Lynch that much more better in the end because the management, the machine, the company is against Becky Lynch because she's not the chosen one. But when she gets to WrestleMania, all's going to be forgotten. They're giving us a ride till WrestleMania. Now, Charlotte, in this entire feud, or this entire sequence, you know, she's acting like the spoiled child. Yeah, you're hurt. She's laughing at Becky. She's doing what she can to kind of poke fun at Becky. You know, you're going to cheer for Becky and this and that. Triple H, like a dominant fucking figure, like a father figure, is stepping in. Honey, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing concerning you. Go to the back and get the hell out of here. Not one word from Charlotte Flair. Not one word at all. And Charlotte Flair, right out of this equation, gone. But with everything that I mentioned on Monday Night Raw Review, this is exactly what I stated. They're building sympathy for Becky Lynch in the match with Ronda Rousey. It's not needed, but it's also not really a negative as well. Because this is WWE taking Becky Lynch off of television because they don't have the creative writing ability to keep her on television. They don't have the creative writing ability to build a compelling storyline for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey going into WrestleMania. So the easiest way out is to take Ronda Rousey out of the equation, let her do her own thing, presumably with Ruby Riott, and take Becky Lynch completely off television. I don't know what this does for Charlotte Flair. Like I mentioned, Raw is going to be in Atlanta. They're hyping a birthday bash for Ric Flair. And that could be an easy way in for WWE to get Charlotte Flair into this entire thing. But whatever they're doing, it's working. The fans are buying into it. And I don't really have an issue with it. Nothing has changed here outside of my view from what I talked about on Monday Night Raw. This was pretty much a continuation from Monday Night Raw. And we got what have we got there on Tuesday night? Just slowly building this storyline. I love Triple H in this role because, Stephanie McMahon is not believable whatsoever. Triple H is much more believable because he is Triple H. We can't deny that when Triple H is on television, everything seems a little bit more serious. So him in this role was so much more better than what we've seen on Monday Night Raw with Stephanie McMahon. But it was pretty much the same thing. It was just a continuation of what we got with Stephanie on Raw bleeding into SmackDown. For the most part, Becky Lynch is off television, but my opinion really doesn't change outside of what we've seen on Raw. It was the same thing. So the entire question is, what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next week? What is WWE going to do to continue this? Are they just going to forget it? Are they going to leave Becky Lynch off television? Are they going to pursue Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott towards the Elimination Chamber? And I guess from this point on, we're going to worry about what's happening at the Elimination Chamber, what's going to happen after the Elimination Chamber. What are they going to do after that? Because they have Fastlane to build towards as well. So we really don't know. But outside of what happened on Monday Night Raw, nothing different happened here. Becky showed up. She showed up through the fans. She walked to the ring. She slapped Triple H. And Triple H sent her home. And this is going to be an ongoing thing until WrestleMania. It's not needed, but it's not harmful towards the Becky Lynch run at all. It's just, like I mentioned on Raw, it's not needed. So we'll see what happens after that. But I enjoyed the opening segment of SmackDown Live. I thought it was great. Triple H always brings a whole vibe of importance to the opening of SmackDown Live. But I thought it was great. And this episode of SmackDown Live was not bad whatsoever. So I love what we got tonight. We got a great opening segment. We got a great match with Randy Orton and Mustafa Ali. Samoa Joe asserting his dominance on SmackDown Live. Finally, I don't know if that's going to result in a win at the Elimination Chamber, but man, they really present a great Samoa Joe aspect to the entire WWE Championship situation. Just the fact that Daniel Bryan's so good, why would you ever take the title off him, or why would you think about taking the title off of Daniel Bryan? But damn good SmackDown Live tonight, man. We're going to go over all of it in just a little bit. I am JD. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on the SmackDown Live review. If you guys missed my Monday Night Raw review, it is live on the channel right now. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of the screen, plus all the other videos that you might have missed. Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, why Charlotte Flair needs to stay away from Becky Lynch's main event. Kenny Omega and his new home confirmed. Will it be this Thursday at the MGM Grand Pool in Las Vegas? Dean Ambrose, is he going to AEW or is it a work? We talk about that on Off the Script. Brock Lesnar, is he going to be elite with AEW? Rumors of him negotiating with AEW after his contract is up after WrestleMania. All that, plus the Raw review, live on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Plus, I have a new video tomorrow morning. We're going to document the new news by WrestleVotes. They tweeted out earlier today that a current WWE superstar, a big-time WWE superstar, got an offer from AEW, an outstanding offer. An offer that is almost too good to turn down. Things are really about to get interesting with AEW versus WWE. And I talk about that on an Off the Script Extra exclusively tomorrow morning. That will be uploaded at 11 a.m. Make sure you guys are there right now to listen to it, man. Set your fucking clocks. I got my inside sources. I got my antennas up. I'm thinking it's either one of two people. Who are those two people? Find out tomorrow on Off the Script Extra, man. So make sure you guys go and check that out tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. New shirt is available. OTS. Who wants to be a part of the Off the Script JD Elite Club, man? Right now, the official merchandise on bonfire.com. Go and get your new shirts, man. We got about 50 sold. You guys are absolutely kicking ass with this. If you guys want your own t-shirt, available right now on bonfire.com. Link is in the description down below. Go get yours today. Available all month for the month of February. That is bonfire.com. Get your JD Elite t-shirt. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. And the bell. Turn on that bell for all notifications. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Twitter. JD from NY206. And if you guys want to support on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. You know, one thing I wanted to point out, man, with the entire SmackDown Live build for WrestleMania, they're putting a lot of focus on Becky Lynch. And for everybody that is thinking that they're going to add Charlotte Flair, I mentioned this last night on the Raw review too. I'm not going to be too upset if they add Charlotte Flair to the main event of WrestleMania. My only gripe with that is, A, it's not needed, and B, I would rather WWE focus on making WrestleMania greater as a whole. Adding Charlotte to the main event of WrestleMania, and we all know by now, you know, the most focus right now on WWE television has not been on Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. It's not been on Daniel Bryan and who he's fighting. It's been on Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. That is your main event for WrestleMania, whether you agree with it or not, whether you like the women's evolution or not. I don't give a shit. This is the most focus that they've got on a program on WWE television. This is your main event. And with the focus that they're putting on this entire program, you know, people think that Charlotte Flair is going to be added. If she's added, fine. But my whole thing with it, like I said, is that if you put Charlotte Flair in another match on WrestleMania's card, it's going to make WrestleMania that much better. If you put Charlotte in the main event, it's going to weaken the card because they've already proved to you that you don't really need Charlotte in the main event. Becky and Ronda have proved to you that they don't need a Charlotte Flair in the main event. And if they do, it's going to completely backfire. Charlotte's not going to be treated like WWE expects her to be treated based on her lineage. It's not going to work out that way. And I want people to understand is, if they're putting so much focus and so much stock in Becky Lynch with this knee injury, quote unquote, you know that they're in for the long haul here with Becky Lynch. Now, I don't know what's to come out of this. I don't know how they're going to get us through the next 2 months of television. I don't know what they do with Becky. If they give us another Becky versus Charlotte match, which I talked about on last night's review, I don't want. If they do a Becky Lynch versus Stephanie McMahon match, I don't think that's something I would be totally against, because it would assert Becky's dominance on her way to Ronda Rousey. And normally, Stephanie McMahon's in a position where she is the more dominant of the female figures. If Stephanie McMahon is being positioned in a match with Becky Lynch and Becky Lynch is coming out on top, that's even further proof that WWE is in a position where they're completely behind Becky Lynch. And we should have absolutely no worry whatsoever going into WrestleMania. So, I don't know where they're going with this. I'm just happy that Becky Lynch is getting, so far from what we see, her WrestleMania main event. And like I mentioned on Off the Script, I don't really give a shit where they go with this. It's the ride that I'm on. And just like Johnny and Ciampa in NXT, I'm along for the ride. They got my money. They got my investment. Just make sure the ride is fun. And make sure the ride has the outcome that I think we all want in the end. And that's Becky Lynch beating Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. So whatever they do in between now and then, they have all this open room to be creative. Be creative. Be creative. I gave them ideas on last night's review. And if this does lead to a Becky Lynch and Stephanie McMahon match, so be it. It's not going to be harmful to Becky Lynch in the end, as long as we get the outcome that we get. That's all I care about. SmackDown Live opened up with that, and I thought it was a great ending. We went into what was teased last week, and we got the tag team match tonight. It was Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev versus the Good Brothers. It was Gallows and Anderson. Now, this was very short, and this was not all that impressive, to be honest with you. I expected a lot better from these two teams. Shinsuke Nakamura broke up a magic killer. He got a Kinshasa on Gallows. Anderson hit a almost a Claymore kick style kick. The sick kick. And Rusev with a super kick onto Anderson. Rusev then got the pin on Carl Anderson. And that was it. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev win via pinfall. And that was pretty much it. There was nothing that happened here. And I expected a lot more from these two teams, being that Rusev and Nakamura were enemies, and they were teaming up for the first time, one and only time. And then the Good Brothers are on television. I wonder why. The Good Brothers were on television, and they lost in a very uninspired effort, is what I want to say. Nothing really came out of that I was too impressed by. I think WWE could do a lot better with the Good Brothers, man. I would not be shocked if they're AEW bound when their contracts are up in the fall. Nakamura Rusev win via pinfall. We got another promo from Mustafa Ali. I love his promos, man. I think they're shot in a great way. I just love it. And he sounds very genuine. I'm fully behind the Mustafa Ali machine. Says that no one expects him to survive against Randy Orton tonight, or survive at the Elimination Chamber. What if the Viper goes to strike and he misses, says Mustafa Ali. Ali then asks, what if? What if I become WWE Champion at the Elimination Chamber? Ali ends the segment by showing his LED mask, and that was it. You know, I made a great case for Mustafa Ali and Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. A lot of people shunned that idea. I would not be against that at the Royal Rumble, or at the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. We're going into WrestleMania. I was lobbying for that at the Rumble. I'm not against that at all going into WrestleMania. I'm not. If WWE wants to do that, I think Mustafa Ali, especially after tonight, I think Mustafa Ali has proved himself enough to everybody that if you put him in a big match situation, that the guy is going to deliver. So I would not be against Mustafa Ali and Daniel Bryan at all. And tonight, he's going one-on-one against Randy Orton. Paige promoting more of Fighting With My Family. Don't really give a shit. WWE's going to be doing this until the end of the month. Get used to it. Randy Orton versus Mustafa Ali. This was a great fucking match. This was a great TV match, man. And I know Randy Orton enough. I've been watching Randy Orton enough to know when he's happy with an end result. I watched Randy Orton tonight, and I watched his body language. He was happy with the end result of that match tonight. This was a great television match. And like I just said seconds ago, if you want to give me Mustafa Ali and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, you didn't give it to me at the Royal Rumble. You went with Styles. If you want to give it to me at WrestleMania, I am all for Mustafa Ali and Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. I really am. Ali is in the ring, waiting for Orton. Kicks him in the chest. Super kick. Another super kick. He charges Orton in the corner, and Randy Orton tosses him to the apron. He goes for a draping DDT. That signature Randy Orton draping DDT. Ali blocks it and decapitates Orton with a kick to the head. Roll through, facebuster. Ali hits the facebuster. He goes for a cover. Orton kicks out. Both of them are on their feet. Ali goes to the middle rope. He fakes Orton out, who is waiting for an RKO. Ali hits a tornado DDT. After this, he's like, I got this shit won. I'm going to win this fucking match. He goes for the 054. Orton pulls Ali's foot off the rope, and he hits an RKO. And that's it. Hits an RKO off the 054, and Randy Orton wins by pinfall. This was a fantastic fucking match. For TV, this was a great match. And I want to make mention to everybody, you know, Mustafa Ali, to the fucking idiots out there, he may be a vanilla midget. He may be from the 205 Live realm, right? But I don't think anybody can sit here looking at me directly in the eyes and tell me that Mustafa Ali hasn't succeeded in every situation that WWE's put him in on SmackDown Live. They've put him in every situation with Randy Orton, with Samoa Joe, with Daniel Bryan. These are major names. Andrade Cien Almas. These are major names on SmackDown Live, and he has not missed a single step. Mustafa Ali, after 2 months of being on SmackDown Live, has shown you already that if you're going to put him in the ring with somebody, he's going to make whoever he's in the ring with that much better. And that is going to be a common thing. That is a very difficult thing to come by. That is a very difficult thing to have on your roster and just materialize on your brand. They didn't expect that on SmackDown Live. Mustafa Ali comes from 205 Live. Everybody's shunning him because of his weight. But you put a guy like that on your roster, and every situation you put him in, he's making the opponents he's in the ring with better. Whether it's his moveset, the way he moves in the ring, the way he interacts with a certain talent, his selling work, everything he's doing, he's enhancing not only the match, but the opponents he's been in the ring with. I don't want to hear anything else from anybody. He's done it with everybody. And he's done it with the biggest guys on this brand in the last 2 months. If you don't think he's worthy of a championship match with Daniel Bryan, you might have some fucking issues up here. I am completely for Mustafa Ali challenging Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. After the match, Samoa Joe comes out and attacks Coquina Clutch on Orton, chokes him out. Joe then big boots Ali to the apron, and the crowd is loudly chanting for Samoa Joe, chanting his name. And Joe leaves as his destruction is laid about. I thought it was great. Daniel Bryan comes out, and he is with Rowan. Joe aggressively approaches Bryan. Eric Rowan comes out, stands next to the champ. He is his body, his bodyguard, his muscle, which slows Joe down. Joe taunts the champ and leaves without any issues. We got Bryan and Hardy next. So we got Samoa Joe cutting a promo backstage after all this happened. Joe says that Randy Orton learned what he's about tonight. At the Elimination Chamber, Joe will receive a justification for all of that hard work he's done over the years and become the new WWE champion. Man, Joe has deserved a championship run before all of this talk. Joe should have been a WWE champion. Joe should have beat Lesnar. If you really wanted to make him a champion, Joe should have beat Lesnar. WWE had an opportunity to make Joe a WWE champion with Styles. Joe could have easily beat Styles in that feud. They didn't do it. WWE has a third opportunity for Samoa Joe. Now, they're making a strong case for Samoa Joe with the post-match attacks that we've seen on tonight's SmackDown Live, but I don't think Joe's going to win the title. How long does Joe have to go without a WWE championship? Joe is the best mic man in the WWE on the main roster. Joe is absolutely fantastic in every role that WWE gives him. When is that work going to pay off? I don't know. And WWE really needs to think, well, if we're not giving Joe a championship and we're not really giving Joe what he truly deserves, and he's a guy that feels that same way, I should be here and I'm here, I'm not getting what I deserve, and I feel like I'm going nowhere, I feel like I hit a glass ceiling, and WWE is really not showing me anything as far as confidence goes for me breaking through that glass ceiling. There's always AEW. I'm sure Mr. Tony Khan will throw excess amount of money at Samoa Joe to bring him on into AEW and maybe make him a world champion or a major player right out of the gate. WWE's thinking that. And they need to think that. Samoa Joe is too good for the position that he's in right now. The guy should be a multi-time WWE champion. Absolutely no question. No question. And I don't want to hear from the people, oh, he's too fat. Oh, he's too big. He's out of shape, man. No. No, none of that. Joe is absolutely excelling at everything WWE gives him. The injuries might be the only thing that is worrying WWE. But even that, I don't think that's enough to convince me that the guy is not a world championship caliber athlete. Daniel Bryan's in the ring, comes out with Rowan, gets the microphone, says, finally I got to talk to people, understand what I'm trying to do here in the WWE. He calls people of Washington smart people and says that they understand the world needs change. And they're loving this. They're giving him yes chance. He adds that, unfortunately, he must represent the entire globe as the planet's champion and convince the WWE Universe to stop stuffing their face with disgusting meat products. Bryan then holds up his hemp title, calls it the new belt, and it's a symbol of excellence and a symbol of change. Rowan then gets on the microphone, and it's been rumored that this was supposed to be a Lars Sullivan role. Talked about this on Off the Script, and it makes me wonder every time Rowan is there, I now picture Lars Sullivan. Rowan was with a microphone in his hand. I would imagine Lars Sullivan speaking in this context on SmackDown Live. Rowan has a microphone, and he begins quoting Galileo. Says that people fear Bryan and Rowan because he holds the title. Rowan says that as long as Bryan is the WWE champion, they will try and silence him. Bryan then jumps back in on the promo stating that he serves a greater power than corporate greed. I am the planet's champion, yells Bryan. And then goes on to talk about how the suits backstage never wanted him to be champion, and that's why they put him in the Elimination Chamber. Bryan then recalls being in the Elimination Chamber matches in the past. He directs everybody's attention to the Titantron, where they show a chronicle of the Elimination Chamber matchup. And Bryan then, when the video concludes, calls out his chamber opponents one by one, ending with Jeff Hardy. He says that they all want to take the title and put it on a leather strap once again. Bryan states, that's why you need me. Bryan and Rowan leave the ring and celebrate on the entrance ramp. Jeff Hardy was backstage watching all of this happen, and Hardy's recent history makes him the man for the job to defeat Daniel Bryan. Hardy then says, the old AJ Styles can't beat the new Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles is there listening to all of this. He came in to interfere into Hardy's promo. You know, you couldn't beat the new AJ Styles, or the real AJ Styles couldn't beat this new Daniel Bryan. And that was pretty much it. Hardy stated that, you know, Styles couldn't do it, so who are you to tell me that I can't do it? And they go back and forth with this entire thing. And Hardy says instead of going out and shutting him up, he'll make him shut up in tonight's matchup. Now, AJ Styles rolls along. Styles wonders if Hardy's recent history makes him the man for the job to defeat Daniel Bryan. Hardy fires back, saying that, you know, you can't beat him. They go back and forth, and Hardy tells Styles that they'll finish this in the chamber. Carmella is on her way out, and this is another waste of a fucking matchup. Carmella is on her way out, followed by Naomi. They are now a tag team, and this was already ruined by advertisement. There was an advertisement, I don't know where it was, but it was leaked that the final opponents for the rest of the field in the Elimination Chamber were revealed. Carmella and Naomi didn't have to do anything to qualify. They were just added. Now, Carmella is on her way out. She's teaming with Naomi. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they are in a match with Carmella and Naomi. And they are going up against the Iconics in a triple threat match. I don't know what the fuck was going on here, but apparently Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose were interviewed backstage. Sonya says that this newly formed team of Carmella and Naomi have not experienced enough to be competing in the Elimination Chamber, or at least compete with them. And unlike the other women in the ring, they've actually been in the Chamber match. Mandy ends the interview by saying that Naomi has never pinned her. I must be doing something right, says Mandy. She and Sonya then make their way to the ring, and they have the match. Now, the Iconics were already in the ring. There was a WWE exclusive interview from earlier that shows Billie Kay and Peyton Royce talking about what it feels to become the first ever women's tag team champions and what it would mean to them. Carmella and Naomi say that they formed this fabulous Glow team, the fabulous Glow tag team, and they'll become the first ever women's tag team champions. Again, I ask, why are certain teams just thrown into the match while others have had to qualify? Every SmackDown Live team has not had to qualify, but every Raw team has had to qualify. I don't understand this. I would love for a logical reason behind this. This has to be a product of WWE rushing to get this match done at the Elimination Chamber. That there was not enough time in the weeks on the bill to this pay-per-view to give us qualifying matches for all 6 teams to qualify. And the easy way out was to do the qualifying matches on Raw because they were the A show, quote unquote. It's the most important show. SmackDown Live has their teams and they're unimportant, so they figured that they would just throw their names into the chamber and qualify without doing anything. I don't like that. I mentioned this on Raw. It doesn't make the title seem all that important if you got one show qualifying and fighting their way in, and the other show not really doing anything to qualify, they're just announcing that they're going to be there. Now, I don't expect the SmackDown team to win this thing. I expect Sasha and Bayley to win this match, but it really makes the titles feel that much more unimportant. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose win by pinfall. They want to give you a sense of false hope here with Sasha and Bayley. Sasha actually was not cleared to wrestle last night, and she's still not cleared to wrestle. So there's some doubt about them going into the Elimination Chamber, but I fully expect them to win the tag team titles at the Elimination Chamber. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, if you really want to think about it, outside Tamina and Nia Jax, which they're going to make them look dominant, this would be my dark horse team right here. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. The Iconics, they haven't done anything. They're a garbage duo. You got Naomi and Carmella, a thrown together tag team. The Riot Squad, they were squashed by Ronda Rousey on Monday Night Raw. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are the only other dark horse team I could honestly see legitimately winning the tag team championships. So they end up winning here. Mandy sneaks behind Naomi. Naomi lands a eat defeat. Out of that move, Mandy Rose sneaks behind Naomi. Fairy tale ending pile driver. Mandy Rose with the cover on Naomi, and that will do it. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose win via pinfall. I was wondering where Andrade was this entire show. We got so used to seeing Andrade and Rey Mysterio on SmackDown Live. They both addressed, Andrade and Zelina Vega, that is, addressed the WWE Universe. Vega says that what happened to Mysterio was only the beginning because the legend of Andrade begins with Rey Mysterio's end. Now, there is rumors that WWE is doing a hair versus hair mask, a hair versus mask match at WrestleMania. Not really all for that. I don't want to see Andrade without any hair. I'm telling you right now, I do not want to see Andrade without any hair. That would be terrible. Now, if they did title versus mask, that would be a little bit better. I do not want to see Andrade without any hair for the next 3 or 4 months. I don't. Please do something a little bit different. R-Truth is your U.S. champion. There's no reason why Andrade cannot take the title off of R-Truth before we get to WrestleMania. And then defend the title against Rey Mysterio. There's no reason. So it was a little odd. I was actually slightly disappointed we didn't see Andrade on the show in a wrestling capacity. So we get Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan, non-title, in the main event. Decent match. Not something that I was really looking forward to after the announcements that this match was happening. This match went to a disqualification. Jeff Hardy wins by disqualification here. It was pretty much a match that got us to build further on the Elimination Chamber. Now, there was yes kicks by Bryan, being that he was kind of in his hometown. Yes kicks by Bryan. I guess they're the yes kicks on this night. Hardy dodges the final yes kick. Twist of fate. Climbs up for the swanton. Hits it. Hardy goes for the cover. And Rowan grabs Hardy out of the ring. Pulls him out of the ring. Referee calls for DQ. Rowan throws Hardy into the steel steps. Throws him back into the ring. Bryan gets the little bell lock. The yes lock on Jeff Hardy. Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere, shoves Rowan into the ring post, puts Bryan in the coquina clutch. Bryan is out cold, and Randy Orton comes out. He and Joe are going back and forth, battling it out. Mustafa Ali then comes out, joins in on all this fun that's happening. Double missile dropkick, taking Joe and Orton out of the ring. Goes for a suicide dive onto Rowan, but Rowan catches him and chokeslams him on the announce table. AJ Styles then comes out. He runs down and faces off with Orton, who he's been rumored to be going one-on-one with at WrestleMania. Faces off with Orton in the ring. Enziguri by AJ Styles. He boots Samoa Joe on the outside. Follows that up with a phenomenal forearm to Jeff Hardy. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan escape out of all this chaos. And Styles is in the ring, standing by himself, standing tall to end SmackDown Live. It's been a while since AJ Styles has ended SmackDown Live in a conquering role. And we need to see AJ Styles doing that a little bit more often. We just don't know if he's staying with the WWE or if he's going to AEW. You know, I don't really know. So it's very interesting, man. I don't think Styles is going to win the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber. I think Daniel Bryan is just way, way beyond anybody's expectations right now as a heel and as this WWE champion, the Planet's champion. There's no way anyone is contemplating taking the belt off Daniel Bryan. There's no way. You don't take the title off the guy who is absolutely excelling at every single aspect on this show. Bryan is the very best you have on this show. There's no way you take the title off him. I have been a huge proponent of that. As long as Bryan is the best, you do not take the title off him. If there's someone that comes along that is better than Bryan, that we all kind of feel is better than Bryan, then you do the title change and you start booking accordingly. They have not done that yet. Well, they have not gotten there yet. Now, we could be in for that after WrestleMania. WWE, and I'll talk about this on Off the Script, WWE, unadvertised in Canada, has promoted a superstar shakeup following WrestleMania. The Monday Night Raw, following the Raw after Mania, a superstar shakeup is going to take place. This hasn't been advertised yet, but this could be something that both brands really need, and I'll talk about that more on Off the Script. But I would not take the title of Bryan at the Elimination Chamber, and I would absolutely 100% love to see Mustafa Ali as a challenger for Daniel Bryan going into WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. I absolutely would. I think that would be a great way to do it. I did not mind it at the Royal Rumble. They didn't do it then. They went with Styles, and I would not mind it now at WrestleMania. This was a decent episode of SmackDown Live. We got a continuation of Becky Lynch, not with Stephanie, but with Triple H this time. You know, so. It was more of the same that we got on Monday Night Raw that we got tonight. And we got a great TV match with Randy Orton and Mustafa Ali. Really, really great match, man. Mustafa Ali is coming into his own, and I absolutely love that WWE's behind Mustafa Ali, and they're giving him every opportunity to exceed and shine on the main stage. I love it. SmackDown Live was good tonight, man. Much better than Monday Night Raw. At least we didn't have any With My Baby tonight. Or we didn't have any fucking Kurt Angle. Or the 3Ds. Right? What was it? Defeat. What was it? Defeat. Depressed. Whatever the fuck Angle was talking about last. Who gives a shit? Really. This was a great show. And I love what SmackDown Live is doing. You know, SmackDown Live is not great every week, but at least they keep you invested in what's going on. They actually build towards the pay-per-view. They show you that they legitimately care for the pay-per-view. Monday Night Raw, have they shown you anything as far as care for the Elimination Chamber? No, everything seems so half-assed. They're building Samoa Joe up. Mustafa Ali has a great match with Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan is fucking fantastic, right? The Usos had a great promo tonight. We got Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville looking good to the Elimination Chamber, even though they didn't qualify. I can't say anything bad about the show. It's not great, but at least it's better than Monday Night Raw. That's all I got tonight, guys. I will be back on Wednesday morning. I will have an AEW Off the Script extra for you guys. Is it Styles? Is it Nakamura? Or is it somebody else? Hopefully that will be revealed very soon. Who has this outstanding offer from AEW? We'll talk about it on Off the Script Extra. Plus, I got Resident Evil content coming. I got 4 videos in the pipe ready to go. And we got NXT tomorrow night, man. Eric Bugenhagen is debuting on NXT. Remember the name. I will be talking about him frequently in NXT. I'll see you guys later. And if you missed Monday Night Raw review, go and check that out. That was live yesterday. It's on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check that out. And I will see you guys tomorrow with Off the Script Extra and NXT. Until then, take care. And I'll talk to you all guys tomorrow night.